Hey, what's up, guys? It's me, Luis, coming to you from This Old Vape Shop, and I have a guest for you in the house, and his name is...
My name is Kyle Adolph, and
Right.
I am from C.R.E.A.M Vapor.
C.R.E.A.M Vapor. You guys have been around a long time in Phoenix, Arizona, right?
We have, myself and the gentleman that I started it with, Lindsay, have been in the vape game here in Phoenix since like 2013, 2014.
Right.
When there was no shops.
When there was no shops.
When there was no shops.
Yeah, now there's over 200. So, a lot of you guys know that Kyle used to work for me. He used to be here on Fridays, Saturdays, and Tuesdays or something like that,
Yes.
right?
Yes, I loved it.
That was cool, man. I loved having you here at the shop. I was like really bummed out when you had to leave and shit because I was like, man, this guy's good. He sells his juice all damn day in my store. So it just fucking sucked when you left because it was like, damn it. So literally, 485 sales have dropped, unfortunately, because you're not here.
I don't doubt it.
Yeah, they've dropped tremendously. It's a wonderful juice. It's a good juice, the strawberry hibiscus, man. So I like it a lot. It's just like now, okay, Kyle's not here. Now we got to focus on all the other shit we got on our shelves. So we have to give love to other brands, which is kind of cool. I mean,
I love it. And that's one thing, too, is we have a lot of local e-liquid here in Phoenix that is very good. Very good.
Right.
That I would put up. I've tasted juice across the country. And I would put this stuff that we have here against anybody's e-liquid out in the world.
Yeah.
Absolutely, hands down, any day.
well, there's a lot of bad stuff in Phoenix, too.
There.
Unfortunately.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Mm.
But hey, man, that's part of it, I guess, you know.
You take the good, bad, and indifferent.
That's it.
That's one thing about our industry that's, you can call it good, you can call it bad. There are tastes for everybody.
Yeah.
One juice might taste awful to somebody else, and it may be somebody else's all-day vape. You know, I'm one of those people, when I find a juice, I stick to it, and I'll stay on it for years and years and years and years and years and years.
I'm the same way.
I'm the same way.
I
know you are.
Yeah, I know. It's enough. Everybody already knows what I vape. We're not going to say it again, guys. We already know what I vape. Yeah, man, it's been crazy. So tell me, dude, like, okay, so from here you had the opportunity. You were working here. You were working at the golf course for a while. And then you came here just to make a little bit of extra cash.
Yes.
And then what happened with that? I mean, why all of a sudden?
Well, great question. That's a fantastic question. So, my business partners and I have a couple business partners in C.R.E.A.M. That's an understatement. That's an understatement. You know, it's basically myself and two other gentlemen that run it, the daily activities all day.
Yeah.
And we knew we had a good product. We knew we had good marketing, etc. But we don't do hypey stuff, you know, like the Instagram, the half-naked chicks, you know, we don't do that. We pound pavement. So we sat around the table and said, what do we want to do that's different? And we said, let's pound pavement. Let's actually show up, go to vape shops and meet with people and have them try it and do it.
Yeah.
We tried to... The lab that I'm with, that our juice is produced out of, Elixir Labs here in town. Plug, David.
Shagala.
Jargle. We had tried to do something like this with a couple other guys before. Mm-hmm. Didn't really work out, but we kind of knew that it could work out if it really was put effort into it.
Right.
And so we were all sitting around a table, and they looked at me and said, you made all the flavors, you're single, you have no kids.
Yep.
Guess who's going?
Yeah.
And I legitimately quit a job I had been at for 3 years, a great job, 401k, health, dental, medical.
Right.
You know, I would ask you every day, am I doing the right thing? What am I doing?
Yeah.
And everybody that was in my circle that I looked up to, gentlemen like you, Rex, my business partner, they said, you've got to try, you know, what's the worst that can happen?
Right.
And it was the best decision I ever made. So I you know, had to leave here, had to leave that job to go on the road. Literally, I travel 3 weeks out of the month. And we decided to start way East Coast. We did a trial run so we hit expos. These big vape conventions. Mm-hmm. Usually there's one a month or one every other month, and what we would do is we would drive before, hit some shops, do the expo, stay around a little bit, and then drive back. And kind of Atlanta Vape Expo was our first trial run, if you want to call it that.
Right.
And by the time I had gotten to Atlanta, I had already sold more bottles of juice than I had probably done in the 6 months before that.
Right.
And so everybody was like, okay, this has to work. And so we came back, we bought a company car, and we do it full time now.
You got like a little minivan, don't you?
Yeah, it's the shaggin' wagon, baby. It's a Ford.
All by yourself, because you got a girlfriend now. There's no shagging in that wagon.
No, it's the non-shaggin' wagon.
Right.
It's a little Ford Transit Connect. It holds all of our stuff. And it's really cool when you pull up to, vape shops and stuff like that, and they look out and they're like, what's with the van? And you'll walk people out there and you've got all your samples and bottles of juice set up, and they're like, holy cow, like, really?
Right.
It's different. As you know, being a vape shop owner, you have to do something different in an industry that's filled with a lot of the same stuff.
Yeah.
A lot of the same stuff.
Now, I've seen a lot of guys come through the shop here, and I'm pretty straightforward with all of them. I don't beat around the bush with them. I tell them straight up, hey, you're not going to make a sale unless it really wows me. Because like we talked about earlier, there's a million fucking juice flavors out there. A lot of them are shit.
Yes.
And to be honest, like the presentation of the person that comes in first is huge. I mean, I can read that person within seconds.
Yes.
I can tell that they're fucking juice salesmen when they pull up and they open the door, and then they go to the back of the car. They
get all their stuff.
Right. They spend like 3 minutes out there, and then they walk in.
Yep.
And it sucks because, like, if I have customers in the shop and whatnot,
yes.
Not only do I have to taste them, but then the customers want to taste them all, and then the customers all of a sudden are like, "Oh, you should totally pick this up.
Yeah.
You should totally pick this up." And it's difficult because, okay, yes, our customer likes it, but
that doesn't mean the 200 customers I'm going to see that week will like it.
Yeah, because I think customers are very easily swayed just because it's new and nobody's ever tried it in the shop before. So it's difficult for me because I'm like, yeah, and they're like, oh man, your customers like it, dude. You should totally get it. It was like, well, this is one customer, and he doesn't know the costs.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So I mean, there's a lot of different factors on it. I mean, it's got to taste good. The label's got to look good. It's got to be made in a laboratory, and
period.
Yes, definitely. I mean, especially for my shop, I've always dealt with that. I've never dealt with like a house juice.
That's what put the shop on the map. This shop was known as the shop to come get good juice, hands down.
I think so.
Hands
I 100% agree, but 100%. That's just me. So,
this is the I would come get juice here if you wanted good juice, Big Willie stuff that other people didn't carry.
Right.
This was the place, hands down.
It's difficult now because it seems like a lot of the juices I carry are in other shops. But not all of them.
Yes and no.
Yeah.
When I travel around, I see a lot of the same stuff. But it's funny, a lot of shop owners don't want a lot of the stuff that's coming out on Instagram and this, that, and the other.
Yeah.
Midwest, for instance, they say, oh, we got to have the stuff from California. So they get the stuff, the hypey, the boxy, the super sugary, this, that, and the other, and it sits on their shelf and they don't move it.
Right.
They want different.
Yeah.
Different is good, and they, one thing we do is I don't make flavors that I make really weird off-the-wall flavors. I stopped doing normal, not strawberry milk, strawberry creams, cereals, do off-the-wall stuff, but still make it attractive by people, not like lavender honeysuckle with,
right.
So off the wall. But that's another thing. From like your perspective, when I walk through that door, within the first 15 seconds, that person knows, I already know how the rapport is going to be. I've walked in to shops, had a shop owner look at me, stare me up and down, and go, I don't know. And I'm like, I know I'm just some weird random guy walking in here. I'm a juice company. And by the end of it, she's ordering bottles of juice. It's, try to get her comfortable.
It
was a she.
Yeah. Well,
but you gotta get...
You're a beautiful man, dude. That's
you gotta get them comfortable, It's... at the end of the day, if they buy one bottle, 100 bottles, it's not necessarily a difference to me. I want it on the shelf.
Right.
It's about building a rapport and a relationship.
Yeah.
I've had people say that juice could have been bad, and I would have at least tried it because of you.
Right.
That's one thing that's good, is actually... I like being in front of people. It's funny that when you say, they spend 3 minutes and stuff, that's hilarious. I don't, when I first walk in, I walk in with my mod, my keys in my pocket, nothing else.
Right.
I walk, not like my mod case, no samples, no nothing.
Right.
I walk in and I introduce myself and I start talking, get a feel for like the scenario around. If there's 15 customers there, the guy, I want them to do that first.
Right, of course.
But, if you walk in with a big mod case and, cream vapor blasted everywhere, you're probably going to be like, wow, what's going on? It's overwhelming.
Yeah.
I don't
so
want
you don't just walk in the door and start fucking blowing O's and shit?
Nope. I've walked in. I have my little Pico, and I've walked in and had vape shop owners go, "That's what you vape? Like, you don't vape anything crazy big, expensive?"
Right.
And no, I don't.
Right. Keep talking.
I use a $25 device with a Cleto on top. To me, it's about the stuff inside the tank versus the actual device. I got into this because I did not want to keep tasting gross.
Right.
Blech.
Yeah.
You know, so you know, they're like, wow, I would expect this, that. It's about feeling comfortable.
Yeah.
Getting them to relate on a level that's, you know, different than over the phone for 15 seconds.
Right.
You can't build a rapport. I've sat here 500 times and answered that phone,
Yep.
and that's why I don't do that.
It's horrible, dude. Like,
horrible.
And then they want to know your name right away first.
Yes.
And they want to know who the owner is and who makes the decisions. And it's just like, dude, I know what you're doing.
Yeah.
I don't have time for this. Even if I don't have anybody in the shop, I don't want to talk about juice on the phone, you know, and samples. Because we get 1 million samples a day.
That's it.
And it just sits in boxes. I mean, you should see my house. I am 100% preparing for Y2K.
Yeah.
Or Y3K. When
Y3K.
It comes, yeah. So if shit hits the fan, I've got tons of juice in my backyard. It's
Yep.
a little silo full of juice that I've never even tasted. That
No.
sucks. You know?
I know.
So I think it's cool that you're doing it, that you're driving around. Now you have a pretty good team over there at C.R.E.A.M. That
We do.
They kind of set up appointments for you and everything.
We do. So, we don't have a very big team, but the team that we have is very good. We are all. If it was up to me, I would be late for everything. I would show up 20 minutes late.
That.
I wouldn't call. I would forget their names. I am terrible at that. What I'm good at is being in front of people.
Right.
I'm good at being in front of people. My other two business partners are really good at sales and talking to people and setting appointments. And so, you know, we would call ahead of time, and all we say is, hey, this is who we are.
Yeah.
We have a gentleman who's going to come around the area, show you our product if you would like, and that's it. It's not a sales tactic. It's more of, we are letting you know we're coming in the area. Would you like us to come by? And 9 out of 10 times, they say, we would love that. That would be great. That would be really cool.
Right.
I can think of one time that I had called the gentleman on the way after I had already spoke to him earlier in the day, just to let him know, like, hey, I'm on my way to, you know, I'll see you in a few minutes.
Right.
And I had spoke to him an hour before. Great conversation. 10 minutes. He's like, no, we're not looking to pick up any new juice. No, I don't know why you would come here, this, that, and the other. And okay.
Right.
You know, but that's the name of the game.
Right.
That's the name of the game.
No, it's definitely a tough hustle, dude, because like I said, there's 1 million freaking juice makers out there. So the first trip, you went out to Atlanta, and then you went to Florida after that, right?
Yes. Went to Florida. Actually, so I started here. I went to New Mexico, Texas. End result was Atlanta, but I went to Mobile, Alabama, New Orleans, Pensacola, Florida, and then doubled back up to Atlanta and did that for a little while.
So I know you were nervous the first time you went because you were out on the road by yourself. You were going through a lot of stuff mentally.
Yes.
Prior to that, just really trying to figure out who the hell you were. I mean, how old are you now?
I'm 31. I'll be 32 in about a month.
Right.
Yeah.
So, you know, when you said, I got this opportunity, I'm like, fucking, dude, I don't want to lose you, but it's an opportunity of a lifetime, and you need to go do it. Yeah. You know, I mean, we sat right here. This was on a Friday night. It was a Fire Pit Friday or something like that.
Yeah.
And you didn't even tell me. It was like Max told me, the bastard.
No, I was nervous. I didn't have a lot of confidence in myself.
Yeah.
I was very nervous. I was going through a lot, and I was trying to find this person who I was, this new kind of like, okay, I have myself. What can I do with it? I had never been given an opportunity like this,
right,
and had support behind me. The only support I had was not good. Now I had everybody saying, dude, you got an opportunity. Go do this.
I hate this thing.
And I was super nervous. I didn't want to leave security. I had a guaranteed check. I had a guaranteed medical, dental, vision.
Right.
Now the only guarantee I have is there are no guarantees.
Right.
I've got to go out and make it happen.
It's really dependent on you and your performance. So
exactly.
That's kind of cool. That puts a lot of pressure on you. But it also, when you succeed, I think it gives you a positive outlook on who you are and what you can do and your abilities.
Makes you believe in yourself a little bit when you don't. You know, having the people around me that I have. Connor's a really good friend of mine. You know, Mums, for those people that don't know. One of those guys, he will ridicule you to your death, but he would be the first person that would call you to ask you how you're doing, if you need anything, advice. Rex and AJ, my other business partner, always calling, checking out. I mean, we have a great team. It was just me. I didn't believe in myself at all.
Right.
Until the moment I knew this could work, I went into a vape shop in San Antonio, and it was called Hazel Sky Smoke Shop. I'll never forget the name of this. And I met with the gentleman. His name was Jay. He was the owner of it, and he had 5 stores.
Right.
He was trying the juice, and he had tried one flavor that we have as a sticky rice flavor, like a Thai dessert. He said, I mean, there's probably nothing like it out there. It's really weird.
Right.
And he hits it. He looks up at me and says, you know, what is this?
Right.
And he, you know, ends up ordering several hundred bottles. But I walk out of there and I go, wow, this can work.
That was the first shop you hit?
That was the first shop in San Antonio I had hit. First shop.
So had you made any sales prior to that?
No, about 100 bottles, and I had stopped several stores.
Yeah.
You know, New Mexico, I didn't have a lot of luck in. It was Las Cruces, not a lot of money there.
Right.
A lot of the vape shops I went into were doing like the mix your own thing and yada yada yada. And so when I went to Texas, it was they had, you know, they wanted to spend money, they wanted something different. Oh, you're from the West Coast.
Right.
You know, awesome. It's nice to be able to. We kind of have the ducks in a row when you go up and. You know, I've got my phone. We've got all our GCC docs on the phone. I can print it out for them right there. It's on the website.
Yeah.
You can do tours of Elixir through my phone. So if they ever have any questions, like here, take a virtual tour.
Of the laboratory.
Yeah, of the lab. You know, it's cool. Offer, you know, when you're a vape shop owner and some random guy walks in, I don't walk in a suit and tie. I walk in usually a cream shirt or a mum's hat.
Right.
Give them my business card. They're, you know, they have questions.
Yeah.
And I better be able to answer those questions. But I want to do it as, you know, somebody. I don't want to come in a suit and tie. I want to be their equal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? This industry, for lack of better words, is very laxed for a good reason.
Yeah.
Business-wise, I'm saying. And I think that's one thing that we have on our side is people can sit down. I mean, you can walk by a 20-year-old tatted with gauges, and that guy owns an e-liquid company that's very successful.
Right.
You cannot judge a book by its cover.
Yeah.
And I think that's what this
That's
industry...
almost a stereotypical thing now. You got to have gauges and tattoos.
Yeah, I have neither. I'm awful.
Right. Nobody trusts you. Yeah, no tattoos.
You are too clean cut.
Right.
No.
Well, that's cool. So you went there, you did Atlanta showcase, and then you came back for what, week, 2 weeks, and then you bounced back out again?
A week, 2 weeks, and we kind of... That was our test run. We didn't know if we were going to keep doing it.
Yeah.
And it was very successful. We actually stayed in Atlanta versus coming back and hitting shops. We stayed in Atlanta that week because of the success that we had from shops that had made inquiries when we were in the...
Your arms are longer. No, touch the pad. There you go.
And so we stayed there, landed some big deals, and then made the return trip a little shorter.
Right.
And so we said, okay, let's do it. Well, the next one was in Connecticut.
Right.
It wasn't right around the corner, so I took like 7 or 8 days to drive there. And basically what I would do is I would drive one day, stay in town, whatever town that is the next day, hit shops. Drive one day, hit shops. Drive one day, hit shops.
Right.
And the biggest success I've ever had was in Ohio. Adam and Aaron Saracola, your home state.
OH.
I tell you what, I have seen a lot of states vape-wise.
Yeah.
It is huge in Ohio.
Really?
Oh, my goodness. Columbus, Cincinnati, Dayton, Akron, all those. It's huge. It's huge.
It's so like, I went to Columbus, Ohio, gosh. It's got to be at least 8-9 years now. I went with a buddy of mine, and we were doing like a little mini concert tour.
Yeah.
And he said that the Midwest or that area is probably the best place to start a music career because there's so many major metropolises. Is that the right word?
Metropolitans?
Metropolis.
Metropoli?
Either way, there's a lot of big cities within an hour of each other.
Yes.
You know, so that you're able to hit big cities. So like a lot of music or good music is able to kind of gain traction and grow. Kentucky,
Tennessee, Indiana. To me, it's weird. I've lived in Arizona my whole life. When somebody says, "Oh, I traveled 3 hours," I'm like, "Oh, great! You came from Tucson."
Yeah,
you know,
right.
From over there, they traveled 3 hours. They could have come from another state, halfway through that other state. So it's kind of cool. There's not as much, there's not as much congestion. People travel from all over. and they don't mind the traveling. You know, an hour travel, you're in 2 different states, 3 different states.
Right.
But from like Columbus to Cleveland, Cincinnati, it was all an hour and a half, 2-hour drives from each other. Yeah. That's it. Everything was super close. Michigan border was right here. You can head down to Kentucky. Northern Kentucky is considered Cincinnati. I don't even think there is a northern. It goes from Lexington to Cincinnati. All the Covington and all those little places, they don't exist. It's funny.
Yeah.
The Cincinnati Reds stadium is actually in Kentucky.
No shit.
Yeah. Which is it's hilarious. That's actually one of the coolest things I've ever seen. Is they've got the Bengals, the Reds, and then they've got another stadium. They got like 3 stadiums right in this little like triangle, and it's badass looking. When you drive by it, you're looking over in the corner, and you're like, holy shit, that's badass.
Right.
I got to, that's another thing. I've got to see a lot of cool shit that I've never would have seen.
What I see is you get to try lots of food.
I do. I get to try a lot of food. I like my sugars, my sweets.
Right.
Tried lots of cannolis. Best cannolis I have had. We're definitely in Connecticut, though.
Yeah.
In New Haven. There was a place called Modern Bistro.
Yeah.
Hands down.
Good stuff?
Good stuff. Good pizza in Connecticut. Had great pizza. Yeah. Great pizza. Ohio's really famous for melts, I guess.
Yeah.
Like 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 fancy grilled cheeses and shit like that.
Yeah.
But it's cool. Every time I go there and I talk to a shop owner, and I look at him and I say, if you were to eat one place here, where would you go eat?
Right.
I like to try the local stuff. You know what I mean? Yeah. I support a lot of local companies.
You're not going to Applebee's or...
No.
Yeah.
I don't go to Applebee's. I'll go to like the little,
stupid computer.
Pho places, the local taco places. I went to this last, it was called Philo's Tacos.
Uh-huh. In Connecticut?
Yeah, no, in Ohio.
Okay.
Because they asked me, they said, what kind of food do you want? I was like, good Mexican food around here? And they're like, believe it or not. And I went and tried it, and it was fantastic.
Mexicans have people everywhere. We're everywhere. My heritage.
Now the eating fish in Ohio?
No.
I don't know about that, man.
It's the water.
I don't know about that. That state's in the middle of fucking America.
Right. So no seafood,
no
like
seafood.
From the oceans.
Yeah. I don't know about that.
That's strange.
But it was Midwest is
it's very old.
Very old. Yeah. Very old school. People still, hello, how's it going?
Right.
They drive like crazy. Never understood this 55, 65 freeway, and everyone does 85 like you're sitting still.
Right.
I don't understand why they don't just put 75-mile-an-hour speed limits on there. Connecticut, 55 on the freeway. That's it.
Yeah.
It's really weird. Back at Ohio's driving is, oh my God, it's terrible, but some of the most beautiful country I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Green, and I'm not used to that. I'm used to driving by brown shit.
When I went there, I really enjoyed the old infrastructure, the old buildings, the old warehouses and factories and shit like that. Like, I thought it was cool.
All like old industrial stuff.
Right. Yeah, my buddy was like, I hate Columbus, Ohio. Like, he didn't enjoy being there, and I was like, why? He goes, because everything's old. I was like, that's why I like it. Obviously, this old vape shop. But I like the old style, the old design.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
They have it's really cool. So, down, I guess I could consider it like down here they have a mill or something like that. And down there they have this area called Short North. And it's like 4 or 5 miles, and there's like 75 like what you were saying, where people will play live music.
Right.
You can do wine tasting. It's like mill on steroids without the crazy ass college kids.
Right. It seems like Arizona's so young. Like,
yes,
he was saying that like the infrastructure here. I mean, we're literally only 30 years old here.
Yes.
So we don't have a whole lot of culture like some of these other states that you've probably been to.
Very true. Very true.
And we're such a hodgepodge of people. So we got Mexicans, we got Haitians, we got white people, we got black people.
We're a melting pot.
Right. So we don't really have. I mean, the only culture you find in Arizona is probably like 35th Avenue and Van Buren, which is all Little Mexico.
Yes. Yes.
So if you go in that area, you get kind of an Arizona culture. But as a city, as a state, we don't have. We got the Grand Canyon.
That's it.
And maybe some swimming holes.
We are, like, when you drive through this state, you can tell everything is newer. It's not as old. You can tell it was actually like planned a little bit. You do some driving around some streets in Podunk, Ohio, and stuff like that, and you can tell like some guy went, "Oh shit, we need to put a street here," and we already did. Oh shit, let's do this.
Right. We gotta fix it.
We gotta fix this. Believe it or not, like, we can say what we want, man. Phoenix, we are very lucky. We have nice roads.
Right.
We have nice freeways. Gas is fairly cheap.
Right.
Believe it or not, our drivers really aren't all that crazy compared to everybody else in the world.
Yeah.
Unless it rains, then get off the road. But we're so much more modern here than everywhere else. Everywhere else has very rich culture, history.
Right.
We're so young. We don't have much of that here.
No.
Now, if you go to like Williams, you go up like the Route 66, Jerome, places like that, they're filled with it.
Mm-hmm.
But Phoenix in general, I feel, doesn't have a lot of that.
Oh, we just have so many people from so many different cultures, so many different places. We got them coming from L.A., New Mexico, Texas, because we don't have earthquakes.
Yeah.
We don't have tornadoes. There's no hurricanes here. We're the desert. We will have drought.
Yes.
Eventually. That's why the Anasazi aren't here anymore. For some reason they just disappeared. But yeah,
Along
that's
with
what
the
I
water.
think about. Yeah, the water, dude. Like, we have an incredible system. Like, we live in the desert and we have water. Probably more water rights than anybody else in the country.
Yeah.
You know?
I forgot where it was. Somebody the other day, it was on Facebook or something like that, that you can they were being able to convert ocean water to drinkable water.
Uh-huh. That's cool.
And I'm like, well, that's great. Now we can just deplete all the oceans and take all that. That sounds fantastic.
Desalination.
Yeah.
But there's so much water in the ocean, man. I mean, it's
Oh, my God.
You know, I mean, and the water levels are rising because the caps are melting.
I was gonna say.
So we have tons of water.
You know, I've always imagined that. This is a really way. Imagine being stuck in the ocean and being thirsty, like just trapped in the middle of the ocean on a raft, and you want to take a drink.
What is wrong with you?
I've always thought about that. Like, you would just be, what the hell?
Kyle's life right there in a nutshell. Stuck in the ocean and thirsty.
The things you think of when you drive on the road for 12 hours a day, listening to Joe Rogan podcasts and stuff like that. All his podcasts are hilarious.
Are they? So you have satellite in your phone or in your car? Okay, that's cool.
I've made 3,000 playlists and it gets super old.
Right.
And that's actually how I found you doing this. As I would be and I saw a video posted of this on Facebook. And when I came in for the wine, cheese, and vape thing, I was like, dude, this is I think what you're doing here is really cool. Really cool.
I mean, the whole idea behind it is really just to kind of showcase everybody that we have here local, because I've created a lot of good relationships with people. And I mean,
you're the vape guy, man. You are.
I am not that cool.
You are that cool.
No. But yeah, dude, it's been cool, dude. Like, I've had Matt Berger out. I don't know if you watched the first one or not, but then I had Adam C.R.E.A.M. That was cool. That's the one you watched.
That was the one I watched. That was the one I sat in my bed from the moment I turned it on and didn't move.
You must have had nothing to do that day.
No, it was cool. It's good to hear two people like that. You guys have known each other for a long time. I've known Adam for a decent amount of time, and he is a good dude.
Yeah.
It was a good video to watch, and it was just uncensored, uncut, raw.
Right.
And that's what
I had to keep him off the politics, dude, because he came in.
Yeah.
And he was pissed off. What was he pissed off about? The Democrat shooting the Republican.
Yes.
So he was like, dude, he goes, I don't even know if I can do this thing because, like, I'm going to just start ranting and raving about this shit. And I was like, we just won't talk about it. You got to come in, dude, because we got to get these videos done.
It was funny when you said bar rules. This is bar rules.
Yep.
No politics, no religion.
Yep. That's it, man.
I was like, anything else can go.
Right. The only time you talk about religion in a bar is when somebody's about to off themselves, and you see that they're pretty much done with life.
Then you save them.
Yeah, then you're like, yo, you need Jesus.
Yeah, you need Jesus.
The alcohol's not working anymore. You need Jesus, buddy.
He may save you.
Right.
That ain't working.
Yep. It's crazy, man, bar life. So do you do a lot of drinking while you're out on the road? Not while you're driving, obviously.
Well, I've actually gotten the girl I'm dating now, Samantha. We've been together.
Beautiful young lady.
Beautiful young lady. Thank you.
Yep.
I brought her to meet all my crazy friends on Friday so that she could get scared off and see who I hang around with. Actually, she loves everybody. It's awesome.
Cool.
She's
I know I kind of called her out.
Guess what? That's awesome.
Yeah.
I appreciate that though. Yeah. She's an adult. It's nice.
Right.
She's
a full-grown girl.
She's a full-grown girl. Imagine that.
Damn stupid computer. Anyways,
she got me into drinking a few wine.
Right.
For actually enjoyment. Like when we have dinner or something like that, and I love it.
Yeah.
I'm not a huge beer guy. If I drink beer,
Right.
If I'm gonna enjoy something to drink, I want it to taste good.
I don't even know why we hang out.
If you're telling me vodka tastes good, you're a liar.
Right.
You're a liar. That tastes like you're stripping paint off of walls. You could, that's ugh. But you know, if I drink, it sounds Miller High Life, the champagne of beers.
Damn.
I love it. I love it.
That's some trashy stuff.
That
right
is
there.
some trashy stuff. That's like it's like high school party in the desert with that stuff.
So you were sober for a long time, right? You
I
didn't
was.
touch anything.
No, I was
I don't know if you wanna
completely.
talk about
No,
that
yeah. It's a huge part of it. So, I was an opiate addict
Yeah.
for about 10 years. I actually the reason I moved up to Phoenix. I'm from Tucson.
Yeah.
Was to get clean, get sober.
Right.
I moved up here, went to a rehab in Chandler. And when I was about ready to leave, the lady said, "Well, what are you doing?" And I said, "I'm going home." And she said, "Well, every time you go home, you get high." And I said, "Well, you're absolutely right." And she said, "What if I paid for sober living for you?" And I said, "I can't take that." And she said, "I will make no excuses. You will have no excuses."
Wow.
And my rehab actually sponsored or scholarshiped
Right.
my first month of rent for my sober living.
Right on.
So I packed my shit up. I went down to Tucson. I took a friend with me. I packed all my stuff up in my car. I had
Right.
like $100 in my pocket, some clothes on my back, a car I owed money on.
Right.
And I drove up here. And I started working at a golf course, and that's how I started getting into the vape thing. This is a very good topic. How I got into vaping
Right.
was when I got clean. I hated smoking cigarettes. All we had were cigarettes and coffee.
Right.
But I didn't enjoy them anymore. And some people at meetings that I would see had those little like light up hookah
Right,
ones
right,
at the.
yeah.
You got to remember this is like 2013. And so I went down to the smoke shop that was right down the road, and I bought a knockoff Ego style with nasty ass Chinese cherry cola.
Right.
And I started vaping, and I said, "Wow, if this actually worked, like it was a good and the juice was good, this would be awesome."
Yeah.
And then back then, I think it was Synergy, Ziquid,
Yep.
U, Vortex, and Bud Out.
Right.
If I am correct, maybe High Tech too.
Vape Club and High Tech. Yeah.
Vape Club. That was it.
Yeah.
And the gentleman that I met doing C.R.E.A.M, the guy that I made the first 4 flavors with, Lindsay, worked at Synergy, and that was
Right.
like one of the first dedicated vape shops that I went into.
Right.
And I was always I was always breaking stuff and this, that, and the other, and we became good friends. And then through the grapevine, I met another vape shop up by my golf course on Scottsdale and Shea, Vapor Vortex.
Vapor Vortex, yep.
The gentleman that owned that, Chris.
Party Machine.
Party Machine.
Yeah.
Still a good guy. Chris is a good gentleman. He helped me out a lot. I asked him, I kept bugging him. I said, "Dude, let me work a couple days a week here. Let me work a couple." And one day when I walked in, he looked at me and said, "You still want to work a couple days a week?"
Yeah.
And I said, "Yes." And that turned into me being the assistant manager of the place in a few months.
Right.
I worked 4
It takes
days a
all
week.
kinds of people to be managers over there.
Oh, my God. Jesus.
Right.
If you put me in charge, you're doing something wrong,
Right.
people.
Don't let him count the money.
Don't let me count money. We'll be here for hours.
Yes,
hours.
he does it right all the time.
But it's bad.
Yeah.
But it was a great opportunity.
Yeah.
It got me to know things. I got to try juices at that time.
Yeah.
I was really into DIY, and I DIY'd all the time. And then a few months down the road, he says, "Hey, I got somebody who I'm going to hire and bring in as manager." And Lindsay from Synergy walked through the door.
Oh, right on.
And that's how it kind of, started between he and I.
Shit, I think I was there when he did that.
Yeah, it was huge. It was a big move in the local.
It was
vape.
a big move for Lindsay.
It was a big move for Lindsay.
Right.
A big move for Lindsay.
Yeah.
He was very ingrained in Synergy. Helped start that shop.
Yeah.
And so I met him. But yeah, I had for 3 years I never touched a drink. No substances or anything like that. And then, slowly started venturing back out. I don't do drugs. I never will do
Right.
opiates or anything like that. I went and got teeth pulled, and I tell them, "Hey, I can take ibuprofen. That's it."
Right.
But I'll have a glass of wine every now and again. I'll
That's
do
cool.
my thing every now and again.
Right. Take a trip to the car.
Take a trip to the car. Relax myself. But I don't. I needed to grow up. I needed to exert head from ass.
Right.
More so, yes, I was very much addicted, but I needed to grow up. I needed to be on my own. I needed to live life without enabling parents, who are
Right,
always
right.
there to catch me when I fell.
I know a lot of people like that.
I learned it the hard way. I don't learn easy lessons, I
Right.
guess. But it was the best thing. I surrounded myself with great people.
Yeah.
My business partners, every one of my friends, anybody would probably murder me if they even had an inclination I was doing something stupid.
Yeah.
But I surround myself with good people. It's the thing, you surround yourself with 5 millionaires, you'll be the 6th.
Right, right. I see the vape industry has a lot of people who have gone through recovery.
Yes.
And have turned around and become very successful.
To like throw some names out there that I know, like Keith Fairman.
Yeah.
He is probably one of the biggest outspoken people for recovery in vaping. He owns Diamond Vapor, which if you don't know that, they were like one of the originals. They had that aisle 7 Nora's Dream, a lot of flavors. He's really big in the UK now, but I mean, he openly talks about it.
Yeah.
A lot of people that I know, even locally, have fought that kind of thing. It's funny. I find it. I was actually talking to somebody about this yesterday. It's like 95-5. 95% vaping is like super party animal, the tattooed guy, and then the 5% is like super strict, sober, no nothing. It's a very funny mixture. But there are a lot of big e-liquid manufacturers, makers that are. This is how they got into it.
I like to think that most vape shop owners or vape shop business people are former drug dealers.
This industry is legal drug dealing.
Right.
That's what it is. It's haggling, hey,
it's
how much per bottle?
Nicotine.
Yeah, how much per bottle? I can get this for cheaper. Well, and then it comes back to, mine's better than that one. Or it's exactly what it is. Yeah. It's like, funny.
You don't ever have to find me. I'm right here all the time.
Yeah, this is my number. Here, hit me up. I'll send it out.
That's what I'm doing, dude, with all that Y2K juice I have at the house, dude. I'm just gonna be walking around with a trench coat, open it up, be like,
what you need? What you need?
Yeah, you want cartoon labels?
Yeah, you want some IP infringement?
That would be crazy. Well, we'll see what happens with that shit. So that's cool, man. So that you got all clean and sobered up, and now you're doing this wonderful trip around the country, dude. Like I envy you. I've told my wife multiple times, Michelle, let's sell our house, let's sell the business, let's buy a giant freaking RV
and drive
and go cruise the country.
Mm-hmm.
And literally have enough gas and enough money to get us to one city, and in that city,
make money
or just be there and serve, like whatever the community. If there's a church that needs something done for a while, and if we're there for 3-6 months a year, then that's where we're at. And then
that would be cool.
At some point that I felt like my heart was being tugged to go somewhere else, then we would just
you would be good at that.
I would love to do it.
You would be very good at that.
My wife is 100% against it, but that's what I would love to do. Like
you would be really good at that.
It would be cool, dude, because I would just like to go into other places and just help people. I wish I could do it here, but here I got the kids, I've got everything, and I try to help people as much as I can.
Yes.
Here locally.
You are one person I would call if I felt like I was in trouble, in danger, needed somebody who was not going to judge me, say, I'll come get you.
Yep.
That's you.
Yeah, because I don't care, because I'm just as messed up as everybody else.
But you want people to be safe. You want somebody, you're that one person that's, call me. I don't care.
Yeah, even Max, like this morning, he's going out to the lake, the bastard, so I gave him the day off, so I'm here Sunday.
See? That's cool.
I messaged him this morning. I said, hey, did you take water and sunscreen?
Don't get burnt so your ass can show up on Monday.
Exactly. No, I just care, dude. I just give a shit. Like, even Sam, my earliest employee. And I always talk about Sam. He was a big part of this place.
But he helped make this. Yeah.
And I miss him, I always worry about him, but I worry about all my employees. I got Sam, I got Austin, I got Amber. And Amber said it one time. Amber's like, we're all your kids.
For real.
Yeah. It's a trip
100%.
because I try to. You guys are my family. Like, I don't have a whole lot of friends outside of vape and outside of my shop.
Yeah.
So it's like this is the closest I have to it, other than my cousin Andre. My cousin Andre, that's cool, my family. We hang out all the time. I don't even hang out with my brother as much as I'd like to.
I know it's.
So my family is the vape people, the people in my shop. My employees and stuff like that, so I keep them close and I try to take care of them. I mean, with Max getting his car stolen and shit, and then he got mine stolen, and it's fine because I made a lot more money on that car being stolen than I would have selling the damn thing. But yes, we won. So
that's how I feel. I don't have a lot of family up here. I came up here with nothing. My mom passed away in 2012 from complications. She was a drug addict most of her life, and that's one reason that I just wanted something different from my life.
Right.
I never had grandparents. Her parents never got to see me. I just wanted things different for my life. I thought it was a waste.
Right.
So my dad's down in Tucson. I actually went and saw him yesterday because I didn't get to see him on Father's Day. I had to meet the girlfriend and stuff.
Nice.
So, but my family, when I came over here on Friday, Max. I lived underneath Max. So
that's how he likes it.
Yeah, on the bottom. But that's how I met him.
Right.
He and I lived underneath each other for years.
Right.
And then, he got into vaping. I started doing it. Was really weird how it worked out, and it was really cool. But I mean, Max is a good dude.
Yeah.
He's a great guy. A lot of potential.
I know. I think he's getting ready to leave for Vegas here pretty soon.
He's super stoked. I haven't seen him stoked about something like this for a long time.
Yeah, he's been
a long time. He's stoked.
Same thing. I don't know why I get like wounded pigeons all the time here in this old vape shop, but
that's me.
Just get. I was telling him too. I told him a year ago, bro. You got 9 months before you got to get the hell out of my shop because you have too much potential to just be a vape shop clerk. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's different for me because I'm the owner and
very much
this is my shop,
Yep.
But for him, it comes down to it. We're just clerks.
Yeah.
And he's got a lot of potential. He has a lot of ability.
He's great with people.
He's good with people,
great
dude.
with people.
He's just got to figure out how to focus and hunker down and save his fucking money.
I know.
So that he can start his own goddamn business.
That's exactly.
But I'm telling him, he's got this opportunity to go possibly move to Vegas, and I'm like, bro, just go.
Just go.
You're young. You're not 30 yet, because once you're 30 and you're showing up at concerts and shit, you're the creepy old guy.
You're that guy.
So I'm just
if you're that single 30-year-old guy showing, you're that guy.
Yeah. So he's been to Vegas multiple times here the last 3 months. I think he's gone 3 times.
Yeah, he's gone quite a few times for an extended period of time too. Not just a couple days. 3 or 4 days.
I just want all the people that I know to grow and become better.
It was one of those things when you're in your 20s and stuff like that, and you see your friends doing well, and you're like, God,
right.
Why can't I do that?
Mm-hmm.
You grow up a little bit, and you start hunkering down, and you start, okay, now I need to focus on my life. And when you see your friends doing well, there's nothing better than when I see friends succeeding.
Right.
Business owners, this shop growing. When I see people, buddies that have e-liquid lines, and they're coming out with, new flavors, and they're growing, and they're in new distros. That is what this is all about.
Right.
I've always said in this industry there's enough room for every one of us at the table that do it right.
That do it right.
That do it right.
Yeah.
It's not. I could sit here and beat my brain in and sell juice out of the back of my car tenfold and make hand over fist.
Right.
But do it the right way. I want to be doing it. When you go, these vape shop owners, they say, "How long have you guys been around?" And I've been in e-liquid since 2014, and I don't make hypey stuff, this, that, and the other. People like sustainability. They want people who are going to stay around for the long haul.
Right.
Although everything in the long haul is unforeseen, we don't know. We're not fortune tellers. But if you're doing everything right, those are the people that want to align themselves with you.
Yeah.
And to see them doing good. A good friend of mine, good friend of yours, Eli, he moved to Oregon.
Yeah, good for him, dude.
No idea he was even doing that. The guy stuffed money away for 3 years. Lived very minimally, stacked
I don't know if he lived minimally.
No, he didn't.
He was buying all those stupid mods.
He was buying more of these $1,000 mods than anybody else in the world.
But he was making it back because he was selling them.
And he was being an adult. He had a kid. He had a wife. He knew that...
He's a recovery guy too, man. He's done them... Awesome compared to where he used to be.
He and I actually got clean about the same time. It was funny. Most people in recovery that are in vaping, if you see, they've got about 4 or 5 years clean in it. It was like 2012 was the year for shitheads to pull your head out of your ass and do something, But great guy. Another one makes incredible flavors. Some of his juice I vape all the time.
Yeah.
But got into it. Same reason. Got clean. Was given a chance by somebody and kicked that door open and blew it open.
Yeah.
And that's really cool to see.
I remember
really
when he first, because he was working at a different shop. I can't remember the name of it. But I saw him blast his former employee on Facebook.
Yeah.
Employer on Facebook.
Yeah.
And I heard he was going to go work at Bud Out. And I contacted Matt. I was like, bro, you need to be careful with this dude. I said, because look how he's talking about his employer.
Old employee, yeah.
But I guess the old employer was that bad.
Yeah.
Because Eli was an incredible addition to Bud Out.
made that place.
Yeah, he made it his own, and
Yeah.
obviously he had his juice to sell out of there, so they were constantly selling it.
Yeah.
But Matt's working Tempe now, and he's like, sales are going up because I'm selling everything now, not just 2-pounder. So,
That's cool that Matt's back in there.
yeah, he's actually enjoying it quite a bit, man. He
That's
says,
cool.
He says that's probably what's been missing the last year or so.
Having him back in the shop.
And I think the same thing with me. You know, when we got busy, 2014. You know, I had 3 employees in the shop.
Yeah.
I didn't have to be here that much, and I think it cost me. You know, because as a shop owner, you know, you go into a restaurant, and you know the restaurant owner, you want to see the restaurant owner.
Yeah.
And that's the same thing here in the vape shop, especially a small mom and pop shop like mine. You
I
know,
use your shop as an example almost all the time,
Yeah.
just FYI. When I walk into other shops and I see the owner there,
Right.
and they're there, I say, you know, I worked for a gentleman. I always bring this up. I say I worked for a gentleman that every person that walked through that door,
Yeah.
he shook their hand, met them.
Right.
It was personal.
Yeah.
And I said, those people come back
Yeah.
religiously, and there's 2 vape shops down the road.
Right. Yeah, they're all within close range.
I said the same customers, new customers, they go tell. I said that guy has completely based his operation off of his customer service,
Yeah.
his relationships. It doesn't hurt that you carry incredible products.
Right. 45 red.
45 red cream. But it's a personal vibe.
Right.
People buy into people. People
Right.
buy into people, not products.
Yeah.
You know, and that's one thing that I kind of am hoping this does, like going and meeting people.
Right.
You know?
No, that's good stuff, man. And it's super huge for me because, you know, these are I grew up, my mom owning the restaurant business and stuff, so I see her working with everybody and shaking
Yeah.
everybody's hand and saying hello. I mean, my mom's really intense with her faith.
Yes.
And she'll literally, like, stop running the register and see a prostitute because she's in an area where there's a lot of prostitutes.
Uh-huh.
And she'll stop and pray for them. Like, come here.
That's cool.
Come here. Here's some food. Let me pray for you. I don't know what else I can do. But
if
then
I
she prays
can,
for them. Yeah.
Wow.
So she's just got a very personal relationship with all her customers, from the oldest to the youngest. She knows them all.
Everybody respects her.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, some people don't like her because she's a hard-headed woman, but that's what made me who I am. So that's
Mama Bear knows best, man.
Yep, she does. She does. So, you know, and then she did a lot of like Amway stuff. She did multi-level marketing stuff.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
And she would drag me along to all these damn conventions, dude. I was in conventions in Long Beach and in Texas, and I hated it, dude. I hated it.
The old like convention circuit for
Right.
like
For
the
multi-level
sales
marketing.
conventions.
Yeah, dude,
Yeah.
they're huge, dude, and they make you feel like you're gonna make $1 million tomorrow, and it's a big emotional roller coaster. I think they're bullshit. You know,
Yeah.
all the way from Amway to Plexus. You know, all
Like
this
the pyramid kind of
the
level.
pyramid
The
schemes.
pyramid scheme, yeah.
That's what it is, dude. And
But people buy into that shit,
they
man.
do. It's huge. It's
Like
huge.
that. What's that? It's rap. It works
It
or
works.
whatever.
Yeah.
The Thrive thing.
Yeah.
I get more Instagram messages about that.
I
than,
just block it.
yeah, no kidding.
Yep.
I'm like, what is
Yep.
What is it? Eat some vegetables. You know,
Eat some vegetables,
Eat some vegetables.
exactly. So for me, dude, actually going to those things is really part of what shaped me too, because I was young, dude. I was probably 10, 11 years old.
Oh, wow.
And I was going to these conventions with my mom, and I had to meet all these people I didn't know. And my mom was like, okay, you look them in the eye, you shake their hands.
Yes.
You know, and that's what was a part of it. So it really kind of shaped me and gave me the ability to speak, because I would have to have conversations with people.
Yeah.
You know, even being a little kid, it was.
And
they
that's
didn't
a
treat me-
nervous thing.
Yeah.
You know,
It was-
talking to an adult or,
Right.
somebody you don't know. It's nervous.
Yep.
I always get I'm that guy that will start the random conversation with the one weird lady in Walmart. You know,
Right, right.
I've always been told I don't know a stranger.
Right.
That's what I feel comfortable talking to people, and I'll start a conversation with anybody. But it's weird. Like when I'm done at the day, done with my driving, done with hitting shops, when
Yeah.
I go home, it's like I don't want to talk to a million people. You know, I'm kind of a
Right.
quiet person sometimes.
Yeah.
But I feel my parents raising me to be respectful, to
Right.
look everybody in the eye, yes ma'am, no ma'am, yes sir, no sir. It gave me a little bit of confidence to talk to people,
Right.
to at least be respectful towards them, so they at least respect you,
Right.
to show that I respect them, if nothing else.
I think you can kill a lot of how would you call it, like
Preconceived.
preconceived notions
Yes.
about yourself
Mhm.
with a smile.
Absolutely.
You know?
Absolutely.
We went up to Woods Canyon Lake one time, and we and this big dude I used to hang out with at the bar,
yeah.
and we walked in, and this old lady was either walking behind me or walking in front of me. I don't remember, but I opened the door for her. I smiled at her. And the guy looks at me. He's like, "What the fuck? Are you running for fucking office, dude? Like, that lady looked at you like you were trouble at first, and then the moment you opened the door and smiled at her, she was in love with you."
Yeah, changed your entire mood.
Yep, that's it, dude. And so I don't buy into the bullshit that people are judging you. Is that you can kill their judgment really quickly, unless they're assholes.
People are assholes.
Yeah.
That's a very. I was in a Wendy's or McDonald's when I was in Ohio, or I'm sorry, Kentucky.
Yeah.
And I was ordering something, and I asked, "Can I please?" And I retracted. I say, "I'm sorry." I said, "May I please order this? Please and thank you." And she looked at me. She said, "Where are you from?"
Yeah.
Like really smug. "Where are you from?" And I said, I'm from Phoenix, Arizona. She's like, "I knew it. You aren't from around here. Nobody says please and thank you." She was very like,
Right.
And it kind of probably took her off guard, and it kind of took me off guard the way she reacted. And I'm just like,
well, then fuck off then. Just give me my order.
But that's one thing. My mom would smack my face if I said, "Can I, not may I?" Yes, you can. You can do whatever you want.
Right.
But may, that's one of those things my mom is super particular about.
Right.
And that's how my kids will have the same kind of manners. I think that's
kids. You gonna make some babies?
Some babies, lots of babies.
Hell yeah, dude.
some little Adolfs running around.
I don't know about Adolfs. That sounds weird.
It's my last name.
He's gonna paint mustaches on it. That'd be horrible. But that's cool, man.
It's fun.
Yeah, moms are amazing, dude.
Yes.
They are
It's a special
big
person.
form factor. Dads are amazing too. I don't think dads get enough credit.
No.
We get society is kind of wrapped up around moms.
Yeah.
So the dads get forgotten. But they're such an integral part of a young man growing up.
A young man. Oh my gosh. My dad was my best friend, still is my best friend.
Right.
Taught me my life lessons, was the guy who, if you ever need anything, girls breaking my heart, screw this guy, I want to beat him up, it was a very cool thing. I built I was that cliche, we built a hot rod together, we did this and that, he took me camping and my first fish caught, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Those are experiences I'll never be able to, and I think it is very, it's a very rare thing to have nowadays to see. I mean, even when I was growing up, I could think of maybe a couple of my friends that had both parents the entire time. But it is very important in my opinion, very important. Or even a male figure, a grandfather, but that father figure always there.
Right.
That's very much so.
I think it's a big thing, man, because I think dads get a bad rap. Men get a bad rap.
Men get a bad rap. Yeah.
And there's a lot of good guys out there.
There's a lot of people trying to do the right thing. There's there's a lot of guys who want to do the right thing. I don't know. For me, when I see kids, me and my girlfriend went out to dinner with one of her friends the other night.
Yeah.
Her friend had a 2-year-old daughter.
Right.
That girl probably hadn't had one bite to eat of her entire food. I showed up and I grabbed the little girl and I said, "Here, I'm going to take her for a walk." And I put her on my shoulder and walked around and she got to eat and stuff like that. And I loved it. You gotta knock up
your girlfriend in 2 weeks. You just turned on her a clock mentally.
But I enjoy that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know, seeing a little kid smile, that's cute as shit, I don't know, maybe since I've gotten older, it's cool to see. When I was younger, it really didn't matter as much to me. But being able to teach somebody the same things that I was taught, I think would be really cool.
Right. It's huge, dude. For me, my dad was, he was there. That's all you have to be, is there.
Yes.
You don't have to be the best fisherman. You don't have to be a race car driver.
Rich.
No, you don't have to be rich. You just have to be there. So, my dad, he worked nights. He came home probably about 4 in the morning, and then he slept all day.
Yep.
And if we woke him up, he was yelling.
Yes.
But we knew Dad was there.
Yes.
If shit went wrong,
he's there.
Dad was there. And most of the time, if shit went wrong, I had to figure out how to hide it because I caused it. But he was there, So that was huge. My dad's not a very emotional man. I'm a million times more emotional than my father.
I am a very emotional guy, yes.
And he was like, he told me, he's like, "Mijo," he goes, because my dad's probably told me I love you 3 times my whole life.
Wow, yeah.
And he's like, and this is his accent. He's like, "Mijo, we in Mexico, we grow up, we are like dogs. We're not human beings. We grow and they feed us. We work the ranch and it's todo.
Yeah.
That's what his family makeup was.
That's like the extent of showing love and compassion.
Right.
Yeah.
It's just, you're alive. I feed you. That's love.
That's
you
love.
better know I love you.
Yeah, yeah.
You know?
I'm working hard so you can eat. Yeah.
Right. So, you know, he grew up in that kind of culture. So for me, having an emotional dad wasn't there. Luckily, I had my brother.
Yeah.
My brother was 6 years older than me, and he was kind of the guy that protected me and talked me through shit. And even to this day, we still bounce stuff off of each other. But
I would have loved. I missed that. I grew up as an only child, and I had always wanted.
Right.
I see people with brothers, and I'm just like,
Right.
God, I would have loved to have had that.
that would have been cool. But sometimes there's friends that are a bit closer than brothers. You know?
It's my dad was always one of those. My mom,
Mm-hmm.
they tried to always tell me to like speak what's on my mind. You know,
Right.
be you know if you're sad, mad, you know, because typically guys aren't supposed to show emotion and this, that, and the
Right.
other. I've probably seen my dad cry 2-3 times in my life.
Twice for me. Yep.
Maybe.
Yep.
Maybe. You know, and when he did, it made me cry because you're just like, oh my God.
Holy
you
shit,
know,
this is serious.
This is
Dad's
like
crying.
this is the you know, holy cow.
Yeah.
But it made me know he was human because I don't know about like I thought my dad was Superman growing up.
Right.
You know, and the same thing. My dad was not the best athlete. He was. You know, he was a mechanic, but
Right.
he was one of those guys. I think he could have built a freaking space shuttle in the garage if he could.
Yeah.
You know, but not that he was just there.
Yeah.
My dad worked an awful lot. I was home an awful lot. My parents both worked to provide. Even when I was very early, like 9, 10, 11, I was always on my own.
Yeah.
But they were always there. They always made sure I had everything. Anything I needed. They spoiled the
Right.
shit out of me. It was good. I couldn't have asked for like a nicer upbringing,
Right,
and that's what
right.
I want to provide to my kids.
Yeah.
You know,
What's your girlfriend's name?
Sammy.
Hey,
Samantha.
Sammy, you heard it here, Sammy. No, you guys are pretty early on in your relationship, so don't get crazy just yet.
No, we'll enjoy us for a
Right,
while.
right, yeah.
She's actually, you know, she came out to visit me when I was in Ohio. That was
saw
cool. You know, that was a lot of fun. You know,
Yeah.
she brought her out to Podunk, Columbus, and Hebron, Ohio,
Nice.
and it was fun. We, you know, sat out one night and in the grass with a blanket and watched fireflies at night and shit. It was awesome. You know, it was cool.
Fireflies at night?
It was pretty cool.
I bet that's neat. I hope you made love.
Under the stars.
Under the fireflies. It sticks to your ass. That would be horrible. Anyways. That's cool, man. Yeah, dude, it's family's a big thing for me with my son and my daughters. The biggest
Your son
thing,
is an incredible kid too.
He's a good kid.
He's a good kid.
He's a dick just like me, though.
That kid is, Israel. If you're watching this, I think the world of you. You're a very smart young man. Very smart.
I've been fortunately blessed with 3 wonderful kids. I mean, my son, my daughter, and my other daughter.
You do. You have great kids.
I've got a good family, man.
Mhm.
I've been fortunate. I don't deserve it, but
Yeah,
I
you
have
do.
it. But I have it, so I'm thankful for it. The biggest thing, though, as a father for me is just showing them that I'm vulnerable, that I'm broken.
Yeah. That you're a person.
Yeah, that I'm a person. You know, I think we grow up thinking that our parents are perfect, and a lot of parents will portray that they don't do anything wrong. It was like for me the first time I found out one of my high school teachers drank beer, because I went to Phoenix Christian, so it was a Christian school.
Christian school,
so
yeah.
it was like, you know, there's no difference between a Christian school and a public school, just better drugs. That's it.
Yeah.
So
Easier to get.
yeah, it's easier to get, better drugs, whatever. But like finding out one of my teachers after, because I was coaching with him, he actually passed away, Mr. Bostic. I love that dude. But he was like, hey man, we should get a 6-pack of beer. And I was like, I'm 20 years old, bro. I'm 19. He was like, oh yeah, I forgot about that. But I was like, oh my gosh, my teacher drinks beer?
Yeah. You're a normal person?
Yeah. So that was a big point in my mind. It's like not hiding anything from my kids.
Yeah.
You know, my kids know what I'm into, what I do.
Yep.
They know I'm a drinker. I like beer, and they know that it's part of the life that they live. But just letting them know I'm broken, you know, and that I am not perfect or always right.
Or always,
and saying you're sorry.
Saying
dude.
you're sorry. Oh,
that's huge.
It is. This is the first relationship that I've had with a woman that I've been 100%. We know everything.
Right.
Like it's from the moment we started dating. It was like because I knew I was very attracted to her. She's a very beautiful woman.
Yeah.
But I wanted to do things right.
Right.
And be honest, whether it be good, bad, or indifferent.
Right.
At least all the cards are on the table.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm not a perfect person. I'm not rich. I'm not this. I
Right.
work a lot.
I'm a driving salesman.
I'm a driving salesman.
yeah.
You know, I that's what I do for a company that I luckily lucked out on 4 years ago, and
Right.
and happened.
Stupid computer.
It's fun. I love my job. Every day I wake up, I'm like, wow, I actually get to go do this.
Right.
I'm very blessed in that perspective. If you would have told me I was doing this 5 years ago, I would have told you were a liar.
If we told you this 6 months ago, you would have told us you were liars.
Yeah.
We were liars.
But being honest with somebody for the first, everything
Right.
on the table, good, bad, and different. It's
Right.
nice. And when they still look at you and say, okay, that's fine.
This guy's all right.
Yeah. It's
There's
nice.
a lot of douchebags out there.
There are.
And she's older, like she's your age or a little bit older.
Yeah, she's my age,
So
and
she's been through the shit. She's dealt with the
d-bags,
and,
the
yeah.
lying, the cheat.
Yeah.
I'm not into that.
Right.
She's it is what it is. I travel 3 weeks out of the month. I don't want to worry about that shit when I'm
Right.
gone. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? That's
Yeah.
not my game plan.
And you've always been, I mean, since I've known you, you've always been the kind of settling down kind of type. It just wasn't the right place, right time.
Exactly. I'm more so, I don't like to date 15 girls at once,
Right.
this, that, or the other. I like to have one person there,
Right.
the last one was not the greatest choice in the world,
Right.
but you have to stumble before, you got to crawl before you can walk.
Right. I'm sure you learned a lot from it, though,
That's the thing. I look back on it now. It was the most integral relationship that I've had because I learned the most. I was taught the most from it.
Yeah.
I probably 6 months ago, you and I having this conversation, I'd have said, no way. It's not, a mopey. It's funny how life works out. You're absolutely right.
It's worked out well for you, man. I'm excited for you.
What the hell?
Yeah.
It's if nothing else works out, I got to do something. I got to travel. I've been to 23 states in the last 3 months.
Wow.
That's pretty cool.
That's fucking great.
I might be going to Europe here very soon to do some traveling over there.
With Connor?
No, just he's going for Vape Showcase in Dublin.
Right.
Connor's mums is going to be releasing his first squonks over there.
Right.
The plug. I'll
Yeah.
plug the plug. So he's going over there solo. He got invited over there. We've hit a convention every month, and we're kind of still reeling in, leads and talking to people from those.
Right.
There's not a lot of us. There's only 3 of us.
Right.
And so to hit another one and keep traveling, we said, okay, no, we'll hit. The next one is Showcase in Houston, I think in September. And so we're going to do that one. But Connor's going to go do that, maybe take, some juice with him just for S&Gs.
Right.
But we've been thinking, no, let's make a few-week trip, go over to Europe, and do what we did here, but over there.
That'd be crazy.
It would be crazy.
And Europe's crazy because I guess Europe's big, but there's a lot of small countries that you could hit.
That's what I was talking to a gentleman here in town that owns a vape shop, Steamer's Lounge. He actually owns, his name's James. They have like 6 shops over in Germany.
Right.
And he was telling me, I guess it's up to like the individual states or countries or municipalities or whatever, if, they charge for things, if, it's free to register. Like, I think he was telling me in Germany, it's free to register your e-liquids. They don't charge you.
Yeah.
But Norway, it was like $200,000 or something that. So they said, okay, well, we don't do that much business in Norway, but I guess it's up to the individual countries.
Right.
And I guess even the laws regarding like the bottling and stuff like that are up to those individual countries, I think,
right.
Unless they're all under like the TPD stuff right now. But for the short of it, it's all 10 mil bottles in boxes.
Right.
It's all, they have to have, 2 mil tanks with locking caps.
Right.
But I mean, yes, we
flourishing
want
out
you
there.
to do it.
Right. Yeah.
How do you not want to, go over there and give it a whirl?
Yeah.
What the heck?
Seems like everybody's going over there right now because they're freaking out about the FDA shit here.
Yes and no. They know what's going on over there.
Right.
Here we don't know.
Yeah.
So it's okay. Let's put my eggs in a basket where I know it's going.
Right. Which you know how you have to do it, how it needs to be done in order to sell your product on the shelves out there.
And it's very drawn out for you.
Yeah.
Here, there's so much interpretation. There's so much. I still walk into vape shops and see bottles of juices that have no warning labels on them.
Right.
No batch number, no born on dating, no barcode, no nothing.
Right.
You couldn't even. It's hard to find a VGPG or a nicotine on the damn bottle.
Yeah.
We just put our bottles in boxes, and I didn't like the idea because I didn't want to be that juice in a box, the hypey.
You have to be a juice in a box now.
You have to be a juice in a box now.
Yeah.
I like it because it's more advertising, more space. It looks clean, but you can put your warning labels on them and not clutter things.
Right.
You can put your milligram right on the top of the box or the front, and it's easy to grab.
Yeah.
It's shelf space for owners. It's easy to stock. It's easy. It looks good. It's attention grabbing.
Yep.
Without having cartoons all over the box. You
Yep.
know, it's red.
That's
know,
for sure.
That's another thing you see a lot of when you go out. You see people that do that, and then people that do it right, and it's right on the shelves next to each other. Right next to it's kind of funny.
Well, that's cool,
funny.
man. Well, shit, we're at like an hour and 5 minutes right now, so let's close that out
Absolutely.
with a little bit of information about your company. So
Okay.
what's the name of it?
C.R.E.A.M Vapor.
Okay.
C.R.E.A.M Vapor is the major company, but we have like 5 lines of e-liquid. It's 485 red, boardroom, long board, and cream.
Right.
We also distro Mumsy Elixir or wholesale Mumsy Elixir. So if you ever want any of those products as well.
Where do they contact you at?
Kyle at C.R.E.A.M.Vapor.com, C.R.E.A.M Vapor.com, sales at C.R.E.A.M Vapor.com.
Go Kyle first, and he gets the commission. Kyle at C.R.E.A.M Vapor.com.
But it's good juice. It's different, and we hustle. We don't make hypey stuff. I don't make hypey stuff.
Right.
It's what you see is what you get.
Yeah, and
sure.
a lot of the juice that's coming out of your lab is really, really good, dude. I'm impressed with it. I think Rex has been good for the company.
Thank you. He has. That lab has produced good products.
Yeah.
They're the same every time they come out.
Right.
They're good. That's all the juice I vape.
Right.
That's it.
That's cool, man.
Thank you, man. This is really cool. I appreciate this.
No, it's not a problem, dude.
Cool,
I'm
man.
just glad you came in to fill in at last minute. I had somebody else plan, and they kind of fell through, and hopefully we'll get them in here next week. Hopefully, I think it's Keith from Valor Vapor. Keith.
Come on down, Keith.
Yep. Next week, it's you, buddy. We're going to sit here and talk it all out and shit with my competition. And so, but yeah, man, I appreciate you coming out. I know
Absolutely.
it was early this Sunday morning, but I'm glad we got it done, dude, because I really want to continue doing this every week.
This is
for
awesome.
as long as I can, dude.
Yeah.
So
this is cool. I approached you the other day, and I'm glad this is awesome.
Yeah.
I really wanted to do this. I think this is really cool what he's doing.
Awesome.
Really cool.
All right, guys. Well, my name's Luis.
I'm Kyle.
And we'll see you guys next time at this old vape shop.
Peace.
Go ahead and push that button there. Stop. Oh, yeah. No, it's not touchscreen.